Hello, Ali, and thank you for your email about the binomial expansion with Pascal's triangle. I can see exactly what you're confused about, and it's not your fault. I have a picture here of the lesson that you're referring to, and again, unfortunately, when I'm taking a course over from another teacher, the first couple of times through with the first two or three students, there's usually some surprises for me. So this is a surprise, and I'm going to correct your mark on this assignment accordingly. This was not your fault, but I do want to explain what I was trying to say in the Dropbox feedback and what the mistake is in the content, so that I make sure that you understand this and you don't do this in the future, because you'll lose marks for it if you did this same procedure in the future at university. So here is the content from the lesson, and what he has done here is he's tried to break it down to show you where each component comes from in the expansion. And so what he did in this part of the solution was he just showed you where each of the x terms came from, and he's building from the highest exponent down to the exponent of 0 just for the x variable. And then he says, but now we realize that there is actually a y variable as well in this binomial, and so the y variable works the other way around, where the highest exponent of the y is the last term of the expansion, and the lowest term of the y to the 0, is the first term. And of course, each term is the product of the x and the y variables as we go along. So the problem mathematically with what the teacher who wrote this course has done here, unfortunately, is that he has written an equal sign here and an equal sign here, and in mathematics that implies that one thing is equal to another as you're moving down your lines of solution, and obviously that cannot be true here, and so mathematically this is incorrect. And I see what he's doing. There is some explanation in between, which I think is why he did it this way. He didn't intend for people to read this as this line being equal to this line, but then unfortunately when you did it as your assignment, of course you did just the first line followed by the second line, and those two things can't be shown as equal because they're obviously not equal statements. And so without realizing what the content had told you to do, without realizing that this is what you were working from, when I looked at your solution, that's what I picked up. And so that was like what I was commenting on. So let's just flip screens here, and I just want to show you an example of how it should be written. Here we go. So here's a similar expansion. I just found this on the internet and took a screenshot. It was faster than typing all this out. And you can see here that the very first step that they do includes both variables x and y, and that's the only way that we can write an equal statement as we move through the work. And so that was just what I wanted you to understand, was that the first line in your solution was not equivalent to the second line, and mathematically we can't write one line equals another line unless they are truly equal. And so I'm going to go back and change your mark. That was not your mistake, like I said. I can totally see where the confusion came from. I'm going to go in and change that in the lesson also, so that the next student doesn't come across the same mistake. And I will change your mark back to a 10 out of 10. And thanks for bringing that to my attention again.